That shit
So
would
dumb.
be fucking crazy, dude. All the people we know. We know them.
Hey,
Hottie, bitch.
how's it going?
How you doing?
Welcome to Coming Up for Air, an
Welcome to Coming.
introspective podcast. I'm your co-host, Jackson.
I'm your co-host, Brendan.
And today we're talking about
How to
seasonal
come.
depression.
I mean, seasonal depression.
It's, we're talking about the SADs. It's about that time.
Yeah, bro.
It's actually pretty deep into this time that we're
Yeah,
talking
bro,
about
fuck
this.
that shit. Everyone's like slowly like on their way out of seasonal depression right now.
Yeah, well, actually, technically, it'd be like at the highest peak right now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It lasts for like another month.
So we are coming. We're climaxing just on seasonal depression.
I don't think I'd ever want it to be labeled like that, but yeah.
Got it. That's lit. Good times.
But before with that topic, we're going to talk about like finances, family stuff, holidays, when it hits, how to get out of it, all that type of stuff.
Being lonely.
You can
and
tell
shit.
I don't have the laptop today. I forgot to charge it, so I'm on my phone for our notes.
So I really got to remember my shit today, which I remember I checking because it's actually kind of mind blowing.
Kind of crazy, but yeah, let's hit a check in really quick.
I wanted to talk about how like maybe like an hour ago I was watching TV with my family, and you know there are some older folks and they were watching some fucking some news, and apparently this man Trump, they basically are indicting this man on him being like the sole purpose like reason on the riot on the White House.
Oh,
Like
the one
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so they're basically everyone saying that like he caused it, he was the one behind it, he's the one who set everything up, like, and like setting people up in certain areas, and so they're like
Rallying the troops, so to
yeah,
speak.
and basically they're
I
like
do want to quickly say this is
I don't
all
have-
preliminary. Like,
yeah, like I literally saw this on the news, and I told Jackson I wanted to talk about it because it was like some crazy ass shit.
I found out about when he said it.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's not like I got facts to all this shit and whatever. Like, because to me, I could give two fucks. I just thought it was crazy that somebody that powerful was actually going to get locked up. They're probably using him.
Locked up.
They're probably using him as an example to all the rest of like the what's the secret society?
Which one? Freemasons, QAnon.
The Freemasons, Illuminati, all that bullshit.
There's so many things that we just said. We just hit the algorithm so hard
We hit the Matrix so hard.
with you know, that small sentence. The algorithm's like, "Fuck yeah, brother, get him in there."
And I feel like they're actually just making an like an example out of him, because like I mean everyone kind of talks about it, like the people who are in those secret societies are the people who actually run this country. You know what I mean?
Can we do an episode about secret societies?
I'm down.
Like, oh man.
Me and you. So okay.
Cults, secret societies.
So-
I want to talk about cults one day. Cult
Okay.
mentality,
Okay.
brother.
So listen. Right.
Uh-huh.
You know how I like never do research about the shit that we talk about. We kind of just make up on the fly. Usually you have some type of like factual points to make, or like some type of,
Más y menos.
you know what I mean? But like you usually have like the
Yeah. The
make it
guiding
sound
hand.
smart. Yeah. And then I'm just kind of like,
Free ball.
yeah. I want us to like the entire week building up, just watch as many documentaries and videos on like secret societies and fucking like I want to go full conspiracy theory on this.
Okay, I need you guys to understand what Brendan just effectively did is like the same thing as your significant other being like, I want to have sex with you in this car right now.
Yeah, did I just get you going?
Yeah, but Brendan did that to me. Brendan got me very excited because that's my shit. Brendan said, I want to
Have you
watch.
seen that meme where it's like the dude and the girl and it's like, are you mad? And it goes, yes. And then it's like the fog on the window and the
Yeah.
handprints like that.
It's literally, that's what Brendan just did for me, bro. That meme, I think, is also from the Titanic, by the way.
I don't know.
But yeah, oh, dude, because that's my shit. I love cults. I love like secret society shit because all of it's so wild, and
Yeah,
like
it's
conspiracy
nuts.
stuff's also crazy, but for a
Scientology,
different
all of
reason.
that. The whole like Scientology, who actually runs this world,
Yeah, dude,
and all
crazy
that.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking
Oh.
nuts.
Anyway,
How all of like the big name companies.
Do you want what else do you want to say about this thing?
Oh yeah, bro, it's going down for like conspiracy of like treason.
So wobbly.
They're thinking about getting his ass for
Locked up.
Conspiracy of treason and like.
Ooh, that's some big stuff that you just said.
Yeah, no, like some conspiracy to something of the White House or something like that.
Overthrow the White House or some shit.
Yeah, like well, because he also put his vice president, like his life at risk. Like some people died. There's 2 people who got shot there because the security guard busted. Like it easily could have been one of the.
I don't think that it's necessarily the security guard busted, but yeah.
Well, they were like budging through the door, and the dude basically told him like, "Yo, if you come through the door, like we're gonna light your ass up."
That's what I mean. I don't think it's like he was like, shit, you know.
No, it was like. I mean, yeah, obviously it was like if you step through, I'm gonna light your ass up. You know what I mean? And so,
I mean, it's still not good, but you know,
yeah, it's still not good. But obviously, like that created like that whole scenario was crazy. Like it almost didn't seem real.
Yeah, I was working when that happened.
That shit was nuts, dude.
Yeah, especially it was wild.
Everyone was like, "Bro, the Capitol's getting stormed right now."
Meanwhile, I'm making coffee.
Yeah, bro. Like, what are we gonna do?
Meanwhile, the fucking hobo John at the back of the line's pissed off that we're not moving fast enough.
Yeah. While also talking shit about the fucking White House getting these goddamn people. Where's my coffee? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm supposed to be there. What? Hello?
All right, Joe. Chill out, dude.
Anyway, real quick, do want to preface that again. We know nothing about this. We didn't Google. We didn't do any fact researching. We've done nothing other than Brendan seeing the news thing and us going,
and I was like,
"Whoa,
damn,
that's crazy."
I was like, damn, that's wild, bro. They really about to get his ass.
But yeah, crazy.
Also, pharmacies have basically limited how much you can buy over the market or over the counter.
Yeah,
we're getting fucked here pretty soon here.
Yeah,
I think
I have to get my medicine.
I
got a text today saying my prescription's ready.
I think that 2020 is gonna repeat in very large fashion.
Oh, conspiracy theory podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be very, very.
That's gonna be the first thing on the Patreon. Is gonna be conspiracy theory podcast spin-off episodes.
I'm with it. Yeah, but no, I feel like
we don't have enough people. Yeah,
we're gonna be all zombies here in a little bit, basically. Well, yeah. What about you, Doug?
I want to talk about hype for growth in the new year. I want to talk about some of the stuff that's coming.
New year, new me.
So yeah, that I hate that shit. We're gonna talk about New Year's next episode. Actually, our next episode is gonna be our New Year's episode, where we're gonna kind of talk about.
Technically, our next episode is gonna be a Christmas episode, and then the New Year's.
They don't know that yet.
Oh, gets cut out. LOL. But yeah, our next episode is going to be our New Year's.
Perfect. Calm. Sell it.
Right back into it.
Yeah, no. It'll be our New Year's episode where we kind of talk about all that stuff. But I do want to talk about, like, we'll talk about what's kind of expected for the podcast. But I'm excited about, like, set changes. We're trying to, like, up the podcast production a little bit. We're trying to move forward with some other stuff. I'm working on, like, some big projects in my personal life and my personal channels and stuff, and that's kind of exciting. I'm just really excited for the new year, honestly. I feel like this year has been, especially towards the past, like, 4 months for me, have been, like, a real fucking rough. It's been a little crazy the past 6 months.
I think it's been like that for everybody.
Yeah, I had my car wrecked and then was, like, basically without a car for a while, and then was struggling to figure out what I was going to do there. Still kind of am dealing with that, like sick. My old car. And then I had to go to the ER for my colon.
You almost died?
Yeah, it was not super fun. Blood everywhere. It was
out
bad
of his
time.
asshole.
Yeah, actually.
That's
for
crazy.
real. It was kind of terrifying.
You were literally bleeding out your asshole.
Yeah. It was not fun. I'm
not laughing at you, but I can picture your reaction.
Yeah, no, I literally was like, dang.
Oh, I'm bleeding out.
I think Brennan has this weird mindset. Brennan has this weird, dude. No, because this happened whenever everybody was asleep. It was like 2 a.m. And I had no car.
Imagine waking up out of your sleep to Jackson. I'm bleeding out of my ass, dude. I need to go to the ER, bro.
Dude, it was kind of bad, honestly. Like, this will probably I don't know if this will get cut or not. But it was just like, it's been a bad year for my health and like just a bunch of other shit. But then
I hope
like,
you know I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, man. But then like the come around is kind of here, and I'm still not in the green. I don't think that you ever kind of hit that point in life where you're like,
I'm good.
Yeah, I think that life is always going to be messy and there's always bad stuff happening in your life. There's never like, oh, everything's good. There's always problems. Life is messy. It is your ability to take that in stride and be like, okay, well, what's the good part? What is the stuff I can enjoy about the situation that I'm in, about where I live, where I'm at
right now? What can I appreciate right now?
Yeah, trying your best to not hone in so much on the negatives and be like, there's good things. There are things that I can be excited about. There's things that are happening that are like pushing me forward. Like, even me working on Christmas Eve, it like really brought me down. Like, I was really angry. But then I got told, like, I will make sure you have Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve off and New Year's Day. And now I'm like, dude, I get to go to a rave that I didn't think I was going to go to.
Yeah, we're going to fucking rage.
But, like, just trying to have kind of a better mindset.
You see Subtronics?
Yeah.
Dude, we're going to...
Anyway, this is dumb. But yeah, no, I'm really excited, and we'll talk more about it next episode.
Laser.
But it should be honestly a really exciting episode for me, at least. And I think that we'll offer some pretty positive insight towards
positive
movement and stuff. Anyway, let's real quick. We went out to eat, me and the roommates. All right, and Mac sold us out. Mac, mostly me, but Mac sold us out and told old Jeff boy that we talk shit about him on this podcast.
That's hilarious.
Maybe
Jeff will start watching.
Yeah, that we be throwing shade. And then we had a whole conversation about how my roommates that are the most supportive of me are Casey and Cameron when it comes to like supporting my content and stuff.
Well, yeah, and it's not even in a bad way. It's not like Jeff is just shitting on you for it. It's just more of a like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, no, they also consume the content. Like, Casey vibes when I stream, and he's consumed some of the podcasts, and then Mac listens to the podcast every week.
What a fucking guy.
Yeah, and so, but then Cameron was like, I can literally do your intro perfectly. He's like, I know your intro word for word. And he's like, I know your segues word for word. Because then, like, we were eating, right? Because we were supposed to go ice skating, couldn't go ice skating. Open skate wasn't available. Went to go to eat to this place. It was too late. They stopped serving food. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And so we went to In-N-Out.
Nice.
So we're eating our burgers, and then we're about to start eating, and then Cameron goes, let's dive in, which is exactly what I say, what I was about to say, which is why I bring it up. Anyway, so let's dive in. Seasonal depression.
That entire story to be like, let's dive in.
Seasonal depression, Brennan. You got it? Got milk? Got depression?
Got SD? Absolutely. I really do.
SD. Because standard definition. That's what that stands for. In case you didn't know. Little videography.
I'm trying to come up with something really witty.
Trying to come up.
Trying to come up on SD on some dick.
Southern dick.
Anyway.
A little cowboy hat on the tip.
I would definitely say that seasonal depression has hit your boy.
So seasonal depression typically... Real quick before we hit this, we fully dive in. Also, our Spotify viewers, there's a new feature on Spotify that we are partaking in. We're one of the few content creators that I know of that is actually partaking in it. If you are a Spotify viewer and you don't like to dual stream your podcasts and you've always wanted to see the video format, our podcasts are now available in video format, starting from the last episode.
Nice.
Yeah, so from episode 29 onward, we are available video format also on Spotify.
You trying to see what Jackson's fine ass looks like? Just pop in and say what's up. And my goofy ass is here, but we vibe.
You're beautiful.
Hey, I'll kiss you.
We're 30 years old. The podcast, I mean. Episode 30.
Nice.
Triple digits.
That's lit. Honestly, kind of crazy to think about.
Can't celebrate till we get to 50, though. Anyway.
That's even crazier.
So seasonal depression is typically, I'm going to have to edit so much of this. Seasonal depression is typically, it's a yearly thing, obviously, but it usually hits you. If it's hit you before, it'll probably hit you again. It's kind of like a constant thing or an annual thing. So you said you're definitely experiencing it. Do you feel like you get it every year, or?
Well, yeah, only because, like, I don't know. Obviously, like, people, like, the holidays for a lot of people are very, like, about being with other people. You know what I mean? Like, the holidays are really about being with your family, being with your significant others, spending money on them, spending time with them, getting them gifts and shit like that.
Family of chosen form.
Yeah, and so for me,
whatever that may be.
Recently, like, just, I don't know, my seasonal depressions before were, I feel like it kind of just, it depends on the situation and what you're in that time. And I wouldn't say it's like, oh, I'm just like super fucking sad all the time. It's just like, I don't know, you kind of see people like with, again, their significant others, or that, you know, they're really like with their families and shit like that. And, you know, you see people looking super happy and whatnot. And it's like, damn, bro, like that shit looks super nice. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, me and my family kick it. Like, it's not like I have it bad. You know what I mean? Like, I know people who have it a lot worse. It's just that, like, obviously anybody who's in their own situation, in their own, like, in their own life, no one has it worse than the other person. You know what I mean? Because you can't, like, gauge one person's shit ass fucking life to another shit ass life because they both fucking have gone through what their, like, worst things, you know what I mean, to their extent in their life. And a lot of people like try and gauge it, like, oh, like it could always be worse. Like, yeah, it could be, but this is also could be the worst that anybody's has had. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just kind of like dealing with that, like, loneliness of not, like, really having anybody, but I also know at the same time, like, I do have people, and just not in the ways that I'm looking for. Because, like, we always talk about it, like, we were just talking about it before the pod, before we started recording. Like, it'd be really cool to have a girlfriend. It'd be really cool to have somebody who I can, like, depend on and, like, you know, be comfort, you know, have that comfort with. But also in the same sense, like, I know I got a lot of shit to do. I know I got a lot of shit to take care of. And I know that if I was...
Significant others aren't the end all be all.
Yeah, and if I had a significant other right now, I'd be a fucking cupcake. And we both know what type of person I am when I'm a simp for a female. Like, I will do any and everything at any given moment. You know what I mean? And I know that I can't do that right now because if I'm just all about this one person, I'm not going to get anything done for myself. And until I can get my own shit done and I can, like, discipline myself on, like, how to balance my shit out, I know I'm not ready to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Because that, to me, that's not healthy.
I think that I'm a rare breed nowadays of I don't feel different. I feel like I don't really get seasonal depression. I think that I have, like, my normal depression, my normal lulls of, like, I always have ebb and flows of, like, some days I'm better than others, but for the most part, I feel like I stay pretty steady. And I don't know if that's because of the upbringing that I had when it comes to the holidays, or if it's just that I love the season, I love the cold, I love, like, winter and snow and stuff like that.
I think that's what it is for some people, is honestly. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
The cold definitely does it for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, well, that's one of the causes is the cold atmosphere, and then, like, the snow and, like, the feeling of almost, like, isolation and suffocation. No breathing. Can really it can really
that low-key indie band, The Underground.
Wow, making fun of yourself now. It can really create that feeling of self-isolation and loneliness, where you don't go outside, and also the sun goes down sooner. So if you're somebody who relies a lot on, like, daytime, or, like, seeing the sun is a big part of your life, and that generates happiness, and, like, the sun is proven to provide some form of happiness. It is a serotonin booster.
I mean, they say it's always good to get some vitamin D in the skin.
Yeah,
it just makes you feel good.
And I think that I've grown up, most of my life I've spent being a night owl anyway, so the earlier night times doesn't bother me really, because I like being out during night, and I like the cold, and I like the winter. Like, I love everything about winter time, basically. So I feel like that's why it doesn't really hit me as hard, is because most people, like, even my friend Jarek, like, he has things that he doesn't love. Like, he talks about how whenever it hits winter and it snows and he's like snowed in, basically, he has to make artificial light, basically. Like, he'll bring in more light however he can to make it feel like the sun is there so that he's not as, like, dour and dapper. Dour.
I was like,
dapper is swaggy.
Yeah, if you're looking real dapper.
Yeah. He's looking dapper and depressed.
Looking real swagged out inside, baby.
Woohoo! But yeah, no. So I think that I'm kind of lucky in that sense, but we definitely are going to try and talk more about. This is going to be the nice part about the podcast, is the fact that you seem to have more of a take on what it's like to experience it, and I will be like, this is how you can kind of like find the good parts. Yeah. So I definitely want to. We already kind of talked about what puts you in that place, but what do you think is a good way to kind of start getting out of it?
Well, let's talk about what automatically hits your mind come like holiday season. Like, for me,
I think it's the proverbial elephant in the room is family.
Yeah, and not only family, but gifts. Gifts are a huge part, and I feel like the whole financial part behind it, like the whole.
Let's talk about finances as a fams.
Yeah, because obviously you want to be able to ball out on your family, you know what I mean? Like, if you're still with your parents and you still have your parents, like, growing up older, like, it's cool to have my own money and I want to be able to give my parents, like, cool-ass shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think one of the things that people kind of refer to when it comes to holiday seasons and being grown up and kind of the point where you really do start hitting the age of, like, holidays have different meanings, which is, like, for the holiday season of, like, Christmas or, whatever you may celebrate, and for the purpose of the podcast, we may refer to it just as Christmas time because both of us celebrate Christmas. But, for whatever your holiday traditions are, giving becomes more of the big deal when you kind of get older than receiving certain things.
Yeah, just because, like, you're more in the mindset of, like, oh, shit, like, I gotta get these people presents, I gotta get these people presents, like.
Which can be stressful.
Yeah, but that shit really takes a toll on you because especially if you're, like, I want to get these people these things, and then you go and look for it, and, sometimes you don't always find what you want. Sometimes it's a little bit more expensive than what you think it is. So then you got to start trying to, like, almost, like, budget, like, certain prices for certain people, and you always feel bad doing that.
Because then it kind of feels like you're like, how important is this person to me?
Yeah, because then you're like, all right, bro, well, this thing's, like, an extra, like, $50 to $100. I can, like, lower on this side, but then it's like, I kind of feel like a dick, but then it's like, at the end of the day, a lot of people say that thought counts, but, some people kind of go home and you always just don't want to make it seem like you didn't think about that person.
I think that your decision on this is what Casey was talking about to me actually yesterday, because he was like, me, Jeff, and Cameron all kind of agreed, all the roommates agreed of like, the holidays are nice because of the giving aspect, because it gives you the boost of like, oh, I feel happy knowing that I'm making somebody else happy by providing these things. Because everybody likes getting stuff. But Casey's like, for me, it's just anxiety of like, oh, how am I, like, can I afford this? Or like, is this person going to like it? Or is this person going to be upset about this? Like, he was like, it is just anxiety for me. And I was like, and I kind of like, made me think of like, oh damn, like some people, there's probably a lot of people who experience of just the gift anxiety.
Yeah, like as soon as this time hits, like people are like freaking the fuck out. Like I know people who buy their shit in November because they just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, do you want to know what one of the best things that I heard from one of my coworkers is? I start buying gifts like in July.
That's crazy.
And that way they're like, I never have to worry about Christmas time budgeting. Because then I have like
months.
Yeah. They'll be like, it'll be something. They obviously pick the people of like, oh, I know this person's going to be around and I know that they are not going to buy this, or this is something that they probably won't ever ask for. Like, it's something that is out there. Yeah. They try to space out their gift purchasing of like, these are things that they will realistically need, or I know that they'll like, or it comes out for a limited time.
And you can equally spend your money on like the people accordingly.
Yeah. It makes it to where you're not budgeting finances or like crunching numbers and being like, oh fuck, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Cause everybody got to eat, everybody got to pay rent, whatever you got to pay. And that can be kind of hard. So what do you feel like the solution is for trying to kind of like level that concern out? Obviously, one of them is buying gifts earlier, which can kind of be hard to do. And I'm not saying everybody should buy like, 6 months in advance, because that's a lot.
I would say the biggest thing is like, I don't know, the biggest thing for me that I kind of did was like taking care of the people who I needed to offer it. You know what I mean? The people who I knew, like,
your road dogs.
Yeah, like my fucking gang. You know what I mean? Like I told them, like, all right, bro, what you want for Christmas? And if they were like nothing, I was like, all right, bro, fuck you, choose something. You know what I mean? Like me and you, like you were kind of like, hey, like I've been looking at this for a while. I try to make something up to make it happen. But regardless, we're going to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like regardless, we're getting that shit. You know what I mean? And so like with Josh, I basically told him, I was like, because me and Josh are the type of people that like, Josh is really good at getting stuff for me. I'm a terrible gift giver. Like, I'm so bad at, like...
That's another thing that a lot of people struggle with.
I suck at, like, thinking about, like, what would be cool for this person. Like, I'm a gift card type of person, bro. Like, I'll give you $100 to $150, bro, and just let you go crazy. Like, go get you something. Dude, it's, like, I'm so... Not only am I anxious about getting people something that they won't like, but I'm anxious about getting something that, like... I don't know, just isn't. It's kind of I would hate to get one of those like, oh, like this is cool. I'd be like, fuck, I fucked up. Damn it. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, like I'm always just really bad about like, if you see that reaction, like I can't hide that. I'll be like, fuck. I'll be like, damn, bro.
I think that's something that you also need to take into account is different people react differently, and I think that it depends on the person and how long you've known them. But I'm awful at reacting to gifts. There's very few things that like I will get. You will see me physically be like, "This is super!" I'm really hyped about.
Yeah.
I'm awful at receiving gifts. I will just be like, "Sick!" Like, yeah. And so like I've literally had people be like, "Dude, I can't tell if you like it or not." I'm like, "No, I love it. I just sheesh, man."
Yeah, it fucking sucks because like. Even if I try and give something small, and I'm always the type of person to be like, hey, like I know it's not much, but
I think that is where you have to take into account it is the thought, because or just having that conversation early on and being like, hey, this is my financial situation, or like, hey, like I'm not super flush, so like I can't do a whole lot, but I want to do something for you. Or whenever me and my friends were younger, we'd be like, okay, this is our budget. We'd do Secret Santa because we couldn't reasonably all get each other gifts like we do now. And even then, we technically really should all get each other gifts the way we do.
Yeah.
But we make it work. Yeah. But we would do Secret Santa, so we'd all draw names basically out of a hat, and then we'd be like, this is our budget. It's $25 or $50, whatever. And then if somebody like really wanted to break the budget, like, hey, I know this person really wants this. Or they'd be like, hey, the person I know really wants something and it's over the budget. Is that cool if I go over? Everybody like, yeah, of course, like do your thing. Yeah. And it's kind of like having that conversation and being willing to be open of like, and kind of vulnerable about, hey, my finances, I'm not in a place where I can spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that's even how like me and my cousin were. Like me and my cousin both were like, hey, like this year, like we're just not doing the whole Christmas thing. Because like her birthday's in January and my birthday's in May. So we both were just like, and she turns 21 in January. So we were just like, yo, we're just going to go crazy for your birthday. Like, don't even worry about it. And she was like, all right, bet. Like, I'm cool with that. She was like, because I honestly don't have because she doesn't have a job right now. So she was like, I don't really have the money to really be just like dropping on people like that.
Yeah.
And so kind of like the same thing. We did our family Secret Santa and we did that. But yeah, I just think it's like, it's obviously really tough to like try and get a quality or like things of value that make you feel like, oh, this person's going to know that I like I feel some type of way about them, or like I think that they're special in my life. You know what I mean? Because people always try and like, I guess, gauge like the size of their love or like the size of their like friendship based off of like materialistic shit.
When in actuality, like being there is so much more important.
Yeah.
You know what saved me, honestly? Etsy.
Swear.
Etsy, you can find a lot of cheap stuff that's personalized that you can make into something really sweet. like, I wasn't able to pull this one off, so I'm gonna throw it out there. I was gonna get Shay, who was on the podcast. She crochets, so I was gonna get her crocheting sticks that were custom and like set her name or something on them, or like say crochet.
Yeah,
because it's a dumb, it's a cute thing, right?
I got him,
but I couldn't find them. Or like someone who made like completely custom ones that I was like, so it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just went with something that she wanted. But like stuff like that is pretty cheap, honestly. You can find things for like $15 to $20, which is, still money, but at least it's a manageable amount of money.
Yeah. And it's still something that, like, especially knowing Shay, like, she would look at those and probably cry.
Yeah, like if somebody got me, like, there was a while back, like, a little fucking, like, sign that literally just says, like, on air, like, it looks like a movie sign, basically, like, now showing. And it was, like, $20. And that's, like, such a cool thing. And I didn't tell anybody about it, but it was just, like, on my Etsy list. But, like, there's small things on, various forms. And even Amazon nowadays has, like... Really,
that's what I want to start doing. I need to start building an Amazon wish list. So that way, especially, like, I don't know if you have it on your Twitch, but what a lot of people do is they'll link their Amazon wish list into their Twitch. And then while they're streaming, they'll have a notification up. I thought this girl who, her name's Noodle, she plays for EXO.
Okay.
And... whenever somebody buys her something on her Amazon wish list, it basically tweets out, hey, thank you to Anonymous for buying said thing, and it labels out the entire thing, and it adds the link to the Amazon product. And so people can go on there and basically buy shit for you. So say if you're like, say if like a sub goal you're having to like raise money for something, you're like, hey, like on my wish list, like there's something that I'm really working towards, yada yada. You might have somebody randomly come in and be like, bro, I bought it for you, like don't even trip.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
sick as shit.
Yeah, bro, it's fucking cool to see, like, and that's the cool part about, like, I know it's kind of off topic and obviously it's not like depressing or what, but it's really cool to see.
I mean, it does fit into like the seasonal thing of like giving.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, yeah,
spreading love,
but it's cool to see, like, from a gaming aspect or like kind of like a content creation aspect that, like, you see people who are not the biggest streamers or not the biggest, no name or names that are known, and you'll have like these random people drop into their stream and just be like, hey bro, like just wanted to share some, holiday joy, yada yada. Yeah. Drops a rate of like 85 or like drops a rate of like 100, you know what I mean? And it's just like really cool to see people do shit like that. And I think that's the thing that, like, people got to realize, like, with seasonal depression, you're not the only one doing this. And we all know that other people are going through this stuff like that. So I don't know if everybody has the subconscious like voice in their head to like be like, yo, you should probably tell that person to have a good fucking day, or like, yo, see if that person's okay. You know what I mean? Like, bro, just go up to a random person and be like, yo, I know it's like that time of year. I don't know if you have family around you. Like, I don't know if you have this around you, like, yada, yada. But, like, yo, like, I love you, dog. Or, like, yo, like, you're doing
spread
great.
Love.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just, like, be a good fucking human being. Crazy.
I think that I do want to talk a little bit about how family impacts your holiday season and seasonal depression, possibly.
Oh, for sure. Especially with, like...
either the active them being around or the lack of them being around.
Yeah,
because I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
I know a lot of people who have the problem of they don't have family around, and so the holidays are just miserable. Because even if your relation with your family isn't necessarily the best, the fact that it is a time that highly induces the mindset of like being with loved ones, being with family, it's depressing. It can be really heavy on you whenever you don't have that around and you see everybody else that does. And I don't necessarily have like a fix for that. I don't have like an end all of like, this is how you make this better. But I will say that there's a level you need to understand of like, it sucks, but you can get a lot, if not more, especially if your family situation isn't good, out of the family that you create and the people that you choose to have as your family, because there's a lot of people who are really caring and giving, and I imagine that the people in your life would be willing to go out on a limb to have that Christmas with you, to have that experience with you. Last year I had one of my roommates come with me for Christmas, and this year I have another one coming with me for Christmas.
Well, yeah, and I was just about to say that, like, I don't think anybody should be embarrassed or afraid to, like, go up to one of their homies and be like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't have anybody this Christmas, or like, yo, like, I really don't want to be by myself, or I'm not trying to go kick it with my family, you know, for said reasons, you know, like, because on the opposite side of that, there's a lot of families that come holiday season, it's like, all right, bro, it's gonna be straight drama, like, this is gonna be
torn apart, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like some people who I've known, like, being of Latin culture, our families are fucking huge, dude.
I get that.
Like, oh yeah, your family's Mormon.
Yeah,
y'all motherfuckers run like 12 deep, bro.
We have our Christmas is normally like close to 70 people.
Yeah, bro, because each family's got like 12 a pop. That shit's fucking nuts.
We actually only have one family that's like really big, which is wild. It's just that, like,
that's how you know that he actually followed through all the way.
That's crazy.
Because once he got married, he was like, time to get it, pop it.
Oh, dude. Big families are fucking wild. Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying is, like, you know that, like, especially when you have those people in the family that are like, oh, these are sisters, but this sister acts a certain way, and this sister acts a certain way, or like this side of the family acts a certain way, and they don't get along with this side of the family. Like, I've been a part of that where
it's either politics or family drama.
Yeah, it's just like it's always something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's never a moment where. It always sucks not having a moment where you can genuinely sit down and just enjoy the presence of everybody in your presence. You know what I mean? It's always tough having that, like, almost walking on eggshells feeling and, like, waiting for the next basically bomb to go off. You know what I mean? And kind of just like don't know what's gonna happen next. But for me, that I combated that, it was kind of just, I mean, obviously me gaming, I was kind of just like stayed in my room and gamed, or like me and my brother would always game.
Yeah.
I would go and kick it like with my cousins. Like now, like if like you can kind of tell like if tension's a little bit high or something like that, I look at my cousin and I'm like, hey, you trying to go smoke outside real quick? And then we'll just go and like chill real quick, because I'm not trying to be like, I'm cool off all that, you know what I mean? And like
it sucks because what do you do for the people who can't necessarily just walk away from that situation? They can't just like I'm a head out type vibe, you know?
Yeah, that's always tough, because like especially when you're at like a family outing, or like if you're at an event, or like even like it's like a family friend's house, and obviously you're not comfortable or you don't know exactly where you're at.
Yeah,
that's always a really rough situation. For me, if you want me to be honest with you, bro, like in my high school time, if I ever, because my parents used to be in a bike club, and whenever I just didn't want to be around them, I would go to the bathroom and kick it for like 10 minutes, bro. And they'd be like, bro, you gotta be like, bro, I just shit all through the fuck, like, don't go in that bathroom, bro. And I was just really like this, bro, for like 10 minutes on my phone, you know what I mean? And it's like, take your breathers, bro. Like, if you gotta like I learned to like, you know how we always talk about like in an argument or something like that, if you get too worked up to like walk away from it.
Yeah, that's
how it was. Like if I caught myself getting like super like anxious, or like if I caught myself like, all right, bro, I'm not trying to be here anymore, I would just hey bro, I'm gonna go walk outside real quick, or hey, I'm gonna take this phone, like fake something, you know what I mean? Like go catch some fresh air, like go do something, try your best as possible to remove yourself from that situation for as long as possible, because once you can catch your breath, kind of talk to yourself and calm yourself down, and kind of like, you know, talk yourself through it, it makes a difference. And it's just
also the vibes might be different when you come back.
Yeah, you never know what happens. It could be worse, it could be better.
Yeah, I have kind of gotten to the point where like I definitely had bad vibes, you know. I don't think that it's necessarily a secret what my relationship is with some of my family. And there's definitely been times where the vibes have not been there, and like tension's high, things aren't good. And, you know, whether it be it's clear that like parents aren't happy because of financial struggles and the way Christmas is going and the way that our family is currently, or, you know, family infighting or whatever it might be, you know, there's something to be said about also being willing to put your foot down and be like, hey, like, can y'all cool it? Can't y'all just enjoy being around each other? Like, this is the one time of year we are all guaranteed to be around each other and trying to be here. We don't know how long we get to do this for. So, like, why are you talking about stuff that you know is going to upset you? Why are you trying to invoke? Why are you looking for something to be upset about?
Yeah.
If you want to be upset, you will find it.
Yeah, that's kind of like even like today, I told my mom that I was like, hey, I'm not going to be here for New Year's. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, whoa. I said,
What did he say?
I was like, I was kind of debating on going to this rave for New Year's. And she kind of gave me a look. She was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And then I talked to Jaxon, and then he said he was going. And I have never like ever raged with Jaxon. I said, so I bought my ticket today. And she was like, and I was like, I'm sorry. And she was like Christmas, you're mine. She was like, you're not going anywhere for Christmas. And that's why I told you. I was like, I probably won't be able to. Like, Christmas Eve for sure. Well, Christmas Eve is my dad's party. Or my dad's birthday. So.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's actually wild the way the family works is my dad's Christmas Eve, my brother's Thanksgiving, and I'm Mother's Day. And my mom is the only boring one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, but my mom shares her birthday with J. Cole. So it's kind of like a holiday in its own.
Wow. That's crazy that you just said that.
It is. It's the greatest rapper to ever pick up a
just
fucking
keep going.
mic.
Just keep going. Keep talking about
We
what
can
you
fight.
No, just keep talking about whatever you're talking about.
All right, cool. But yeah, it was just kind of like she kind of just told me, she was like, at least I get you for like Christmas. She was like, because obviously you know how my family is like kind of worked out with itself and, you know, just certain situations.
Is New Year's Eve a big deal for you guys?
Well, yeah, only because like my parents are really big about like starting the new year with like going into the new year with the people that you love genuinely, you hold close, like it's a new start. They're very big on like new starts, fresh beginnings. Yeah, it's been like as a kid, like we used to have like these, bro, when I tell you there would be so many fucking Puerto Ricans at this one fucking spot. We used to have this homie who had a crib, a family friend out in Phoenix, and it was like an acre, dude. Like my man's had like a fat ass fucking property, bro. And it was like you had like a 4 or 5 car garage, you had like a little basketball outside, you had like a big dance floor, there was like a bouncy house, and then all the kids would be inside play. There was like probably a cool 10 to 12 families there. And each got like 3-4 kids, like just some aunts and uncles, some grandmas and grandpas there. Like it was nuts. And every year it was like a huge thing to celebrate with like people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was always like just like good energy, good vibes. And they're just big on like spending like those kind of like my parents aren't big on like Thanksgiving, obviously you spend with your family, yada yada, do your thing. They understand.
Christmas Eve, same, or Christmas, same thing.
Yeah, but usually New Year's is kind of like a hit or miss. Sometimes when you get to the age, they're like, all right, you can go do shit with your friends. Like, I don't give a fuck. My parents are very big on like starting the new year with their like.
Interesting. I've never had. My parents have never been huge on New Year's Eve.
Oh, I swear. Yeah, like even
we'll talk about this more next episode. But.
Yeah, but even like back east, they'll like at 9 o'clock they'll call, or 10 o'clock they'll call all the family back east, and they'll be like, yo, like Happy New Year's. I love you guys so much. Like, you know, we're gonna go, you know, yada yada, blah blah blah. And they'll
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's.
Well, I'm honored to get to spend it with you, man.
Yeah, it's like it's a pretty big deal for me. You will probably see me cry. Like I will probably cry in your arms. I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay.
Like when that shit hits and we're banging our head and I'm just, I'm probably gonna be crying as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
We'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
But so how we've talked about kind of like some of the causes and stuff of seasonal depression and kind of the holiday season and how difficult it can kind of be and some of the ways to avoid it. How do you feel like if you're in that shit, if you're in there, brother, how do you kind of get out of it?
I would say you get out of seasonal depression. Like if you're looking to get out of it, like really, because I would say there's kind of 2 ways. One, you can be very vulnerable with your friends or the people you have in your life, and you go, hey, I'm gonna be honest, dog. I'm fucking going through it, and I'm really fucking hating my life right now. And hopefully you have some solid ass friends that are like, hey, bud, I gotcha. And then they make shit happen. You guys go get hot cocos and fucking deep throat some candy canes and shit like that together, and go call it a fucking day. And but yeah, definitely ask the homies to come like help you out. I think that's something that I've been slacking on, is I've been trying to isolate myself for so long, and just kind of like quote unquote cutting myself from distractions. And all the homies are like, hey dog, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but
not the move.
Yeah, bro, like don't do that shit. And then on the other hand to it is really just being honest with yourself and just kind of like, all right, bro, like kind of addressing why you're upset, or addressing like what is it about this time that I'm like, what do I miss? Like what is really getting into it for me? And just try and come to peace with it. You know what I mean? And I think obviously it's easier said than done, but I think a huge part that I've realized of growing is that like if you don't ever address the cause of what's going on, it's just going to be a reoccurring thing. No matter how many times, you try and do whatever you can to sedate it or, put it to the side or distract yourself, like at some point you have to address the cause and heal from it and grow from it. A lot of people have their shit stemming from like childhood traumas and having, very traumatic experiences and holidays. And on the other side of it, you have just people who have grown up, maybe just not enjoying the holidays. You have people who, there's so many different reasons. And I think everyone should just find like kind of like just their cause of it. And there's just some people who just simply don't like this time of year. Maybe that's why they get depressed and they're just like, I hate the fucking cold. I hate the holidays. And you can't really blame them for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, there's always an answer to everything. And even when there's not, fucking stay strong, dude. You're killing it.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that's going to kind of veer us into the next section, which is kind of like avoid being the cause of other people's depression as well.
Yeah.
Which is your...
That shit's contagious.
Your mental health and your trauma, your attitude towards things isn't necessarily your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite sayings as of the past like couple months, has been that of the concept that yes, this stuff has happened to you and it's not your fault that this stuff has happened to you, but it is your responsibility to maintain it and manage it. And the way you respond to that falls on you.
Well, that's like the homeboy Fuji in Black Clover. He's one of the captains, anime. My man said, it's not your fault for being weak, but it is your fault for staying weak. And that bitch was like, ah, with a bunch of magic and shit like that. And I was like, bro, that's probably one of the hardest bars I think I've ever heard an anime drop, dog.
But it's true. Like, if you are in a position where you are not happy with life and you are not excited for something, you're not seeking something to make you excited, to make you happy, to make you, then it's not necessarily your fault that you're there, but it is your responsibility to acknowledge it and get out of that situation. And then it will be your fault if you let it persist.
Yeah.
Which is why we kind of want to talk about also how your seasonal depression can affect the people around you. And not necessarily to say keep it to yourself, because we spent this past 40 minutes talking about make sure you talk, make sure you are trying to communicate with the people around you, try to have people help you, try to, make an environment that is homely to you.
But that also comes with like, people don't realize that you can't just be like, yo, I'm upset, or yo, I'm sad because of this shit makes me feel bad, and then someone gives you advice, or someone gives you like, hey bro, like we can go do this or we can go do that.
And then you're like, tries to make it better for you. Somebody, like literally the act of being like, oh dude, like you were feeling down, so we're gonna go get food, we're gonna go ice skating, we're gonna do, whatever, we're gonna do some family shit, we're gonna do something fun together that I know you'll like to do, or something that gives you that feeling that's happy and exciting, and then you kind of keep it down the whole time.
Yeah, or you're just like, oh, I guess, you know what I mean? And you're kind of just like super 50-50 with it. Like you have to put in the effort to be like, I want to create this energy for it. Like I want to be able to fix this. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to enjoy this and be happy.
Yeah, I think that there's not necessarily a problem with not liking the holidays or not enjoying.
But don't ruin it for nobody else.
If somebody's trying to help you enjoy it and somebody's like, and not trying to force you in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to make you enjoy it.
You're going to get in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, no, but more of the sense that they're like, well, I understand you don't like it, but I want to offer you the ability to have the best season that you can have. Yeah. You know, to give you a family you didn't have, or give you like the love you wish you had, or, you know, make you have like traditions, or give you something to where you go, this holiday season is the best I've had, and I know it can go up from here.
Yeah.
You also have to be willing to be like, it can happen. Yeah. It can be a good season. There are good things that can come from the season, but you have to be open to it. And if you are the whole time that somebody's trying to do this thing for you, you know,
if you're just Scrooging it up,
if you're if you're fucking dying of dehydration, and somebody offers you a water bottle and you're like, I don't drink water,
you're a bitch.
It's your fault.
It's literally your fault. That's why you're gonna die.
This is a really like extreme analogy, but same concept. The whole like, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Don't be the horse.
Jaxon is just fucking spitting today, bro. Break the horse's fucking kneecap, snap it in half, pour the water in his mouth, make him, you know what it feels like. Take the water back out from his mouth. Tell him to drink that shit.
All of it with consent.
Yes. Can I break your kneecap? Can I pour this water in your mouth? Can I take it out now? Drink it now, bitch. You know? It's exactly how that would go. Seasonal depression, over. Dealt with. In a nutshell. Boom-bing! Bada-boom!
Oh, TikTok's going to love that one. But, you know, dude, if you're wanting to get out of it, if you have people who are trying to help you get out of it, be willing to try change. If what you're doing hasn't been working, maybe somebody can help you.
Give.
Yeah, you know, try to find something that allows for that to balance out to where you can enjoy it. You can have fun.
Because then you want to complain, and then you want to be like, oh, nobody wants to help me. But then you got your homies like, bro, that motherfucker does not want to do anything for himself. You know what I mean? Like, don't be that person where you're like, bro, I try to help him out.
I've literally experienced this. I have a person who doesn't like hanging out with me because I stopped talking to them, because every time that I would offer solutions, I would try to help them. I would like ask to hang out. They were so 50-50 or like so about everything, and everything was always a negative. Everything was always a downer. Nothing was ever good. That it was like, well, what's the point of me trying to hang out with you if no matter what I do, no matter what I try to offer you,
it's not good enough, basically.
Yeah. So why am I going on a limb to be more upset and not enjoy my time being around you?
Yeah.
Which, you know, that doesn't mean that you're a burden, because that's also a bad mindset to fall into. But, you know, same thing, like, we've spent this whole episode talking about communicate, you know, be willing to, like...
Don't be in like, obviously some people take this saying really, really up the ass the hard way. Don't have a victim mindset. In a sense of, like...
Oh, woe was me.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like, it's my fault that... you know, this happened, or it's my fault. Like, oh, I'm so this. I'm so, like, bro, fuck all that shit, bro. Because at the end of the day, 90% of people are going to look at you and be like, you know what, you're right. It is your fault. It is this.
Because you won't let anything change.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's something that I've had to realize, is that, like, because I was always a big, like, I can fix them. And we've talked about this before. You know what I mean? But, like...
No, Brendan, you don't understand. I can fix them. I see the good. I see it.
Oh, I'm getting PTSD,
bro. I know that they slept with my friend, but I can fix it.
Oh, that's crazy.
I can do it. Trust.
That was me to Jaxon. That was literally me to Jaxon. It's all right.
You know what's crazy? I remember exactly how it happened on my end, because I was skateboarding at the time.
Oh, bro, I called you hollering.
Yeah, I was skateboarding, and I was like, hey, dog, maybe you just gotta, like, let it go. And he was like, I don't know, dog, it ain't like that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you were like, what was the point of this phone call, bro?
I said, I'm gonna go skate again.
Yeah, no, that shit was actually wild, bro. Anyway, I just got PTSD all over again.
If you're going through it, if this holiday season's treating you rough and you're having a hard time, know that there's guaranteed somebody that you, either your family or the family you have made, the people that you love and care about and that are your family, whatever that means to you, care and want to see you happy, want to help, but you have to be willing to have that and be willing to move with them, you know? Find something, because there's guaranteed to be something out there for you.
Yeah, there's definitely at least somebody, something to give you some type of comfort and closure during this time. You just gotta go out and find it. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be...
Shit, go look at Christmas lights. Go walk around a neighborhood if you gotta, like...
Yeah, honestly, go ask somebody for... Honestly, bro, you know what? You know what advice sometimes I give people? If they're always like, bro, like, what do you do to, like, kind of get out of shit? Because I've been thinking about, like, how to answer your questions where we're always talking about, like, how do you get out of this? How do you get... Bro, you know what you do? Go find a hobo that looks safe to talk to. Okay?
This is getting dangerous.
And go ask them their story and what advice they would give somebody, like life advice. I promise you, you'll get some of the most knowledgeable and
insane shit.
Yeah, like some like this was given straight out of like God's mouth type of advice.
They got nothing to lose.
They've lived it all. They've seen it all, bro. Like they're on the street, dog. Like they have gone through it, bro. 9 times out of 10, bro, they always got something to spit, and the way it opens your eyes is like unbelievable. So in the nicest way, maybe go bring them some food or something and be like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, you look
Spread
like
the holiday cheer.
Yeah, be like, yo, you look like a dope ass person. I wanted to bring you some food. And I wanted to ask you about your story, bro. Like,
I thought you were about to say, yo, you look like a homeless ass person. I was like, damn.
Yo, you look like you do dope and got kicked out of your fucking crib, so I thought I'd bring you a fucking breakfast burrito. Dude, you got any advice for me? Yeah, man, fuck you. Give me my burrito.
Let's come up.
Oh, man.
Brendan!
Jaxon.
Brendan.
What was I going to talk about?
Talk about the ganja. Kush.
Oh, yeah,
Bush.
dude. Right.
The devil's lettuce.
Right. So, my grandfather, he was like 80-something. 70-something. He might be on it. He might in between mid-80s, 70s, low 80s, I think. One of them. He came out from New York. Haven't seen him in like 3 or 4 years, right? In New York, they made it legal for smoke the ganja, smoke the good. So he came out here and he was telling me, he was like, I get 7 1-gram J's for like $7. I'm like, dude, you're smoking dirt. They are finessing you, bro. You need to cut that shit out. Stop smoking that shit. Obviously, he's older. He don't know no better. You know what I mean?
I don't know no better.
Bro, $1 a gram for a J is crazy, bro. Anywho, so I rolled him up a J because he was like, yeah, I'm trying to smoke, like, yada, yada, this and that. And I was like, I'm about to get this motherfucker so faded, bro. So it's cool because, like, obviously, I guess my mom's dad. And so, like, it's really cool. I rolled up a little J. He watched me do it. And he was like, oh, you do that yourself, like, with the filter and everything? And I was like, yeah, bro, what the fuck you think I am, bro? Like, you don't even know.
Him.
Yeah, bro, you must not. You really don't know about me. And so I roll it up, and it's, like, looks all pretty and whatnot. And so I light it, and he's like, oh, this is really nice. He's, like, smelling it and shit like that. I'm like, yeah, this that fire. This that shit. And so he actually took like a good amount, a couple rips, and then he finally told me, he was like, no, I'm good. And so he goes to his room, and you can tell, like, he's like, I need to go to sleep.
He's in space.
Yeah. So he goes to his room, and then the next morning I wake up, and what's it called? I walk out, and my mom's like, dude, you had grandpa so fucked up. She like went to go like wake him up. Like bro was slump out until like 10 a.m. Like she had to go like wake him up, and he like spazzed out of his sleep and was like, oh yeah, like he was in a slumber. right? And
Homie was hibernating.
no, real life. And then the first thing he says to my mom was, "I ain't never smoking that shit again." And I'll tell you what, bro. For me, it was like peak. Like that made me feel real good. I was like, "How'd you sleep though?" He's like, "Oh, I slept like a rock, dude." And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's just like that's like a peak. I think I'll forever cherish that moment.
Oh,
like you know what I mean? Like that's just like a.
Oh, shit.
I'm slowly trying to work my way into like smoking with everybody in my family. So like I kind of have my immediate family down, and it's kind of just slowly working my way out. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fly. What about you, my dude?
I want to talk about how lately I've been kind of like finding my passion for D&D again. So like there's
Big Sag this weekend. I was so sad.
I was actually like really, really sad. I had so much prep work done. And I've been really excited.
I'm ready to get drippy.
Yeah, dude. Also,
I'm actually really excited for how that's going to turn out.
We play D&D. I've been playing D&D for about 7 years now, give or take.
How many campaigns?
1, 2. We've done 2 big campaigns that I'd be like consider like really good. I've done 1 full campaign from start to end, basically. And then this one that we're in is second campaign. Then when I started, I had a campaign, and we didn't finish it, but we got pretty far in it. And that one was really fun, and that's kind of where I based a lot of, like, some of the things that I've created kind of stemmed from there, like Echo and stuff, and some of the characters are, like, legacy characters that are, you know, rooted in the lore and stuff, and it's kind of where I got some of it based, and then I, like, trimmed the fat, kind of really honed in on some of the stuff that I liked, pulled out stuff that I didn't like, and kind of like made it crisper and nice.
Crisper.
And so I've done 3 campaigns and then like an online campaign when COVID first happened. We didn't play a whole lot, but we played a little bit.
When bleep happened.
Yeah. The ickies.
Yeah. The ickies.
And then
YouTube doesn't like that word.
Yeah. And then I've done a couple like one-shot stuff. We're going to do another one-shot here soon. I think we're going to do like kind of a One Piece-esque one-shot.
That's sick.
Yeah. So
I want the One Piece, and I want to eat a devil fruit. If you add a devil fruit in there, can we make that happen?
I have to talk to my One Piece expert.
I'm right here.
Yeah, you and Jeff would kind of have to teach me some stuff, but
that would be so cool, dude.
But that's pretty much it. And then I've played a little bit. Like I played with my high school teachers.
That's kind of fire.
Yeah, it was awesome. We played for a long time. They're still playing. I am supposed to be playing. Like I am. It's funny because my favorite character is who I'm technically currently playing, but I just haven't been able to because time and everything, and so it's been kind of rough. But it's been wild. My current character for that campaign is my favorite. She's a wizard. Her name's Calcoris Shams. And she lost her memory. It was like, it was wild. And then I got it back. And it was crazy. And I almost killed my father. It was wild.
Damn.
But then I didn't. And we reconciled. Aww. There's a whole lot.
Stabs in the back. Steals his power.
No, he's not a powerful dude. He got no magic, and that was Bones, this old brittle Bones.
Got it.
He's just a dude. But anyway, so it's been kind of. I'll go through periods where like I really get passionate. I always love D&D. I always have fun playing it, but there's times where I definitely am not as passionate as I am other times. And I'm in a really big kick now where I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna start making some more stuff again. Like the person who's joining us next session, they're going to be playing a homebrew class that I made during the Ickness campaign.
I was gonna ask, but you're obviously gonna be like, well, like, you're gonna wait and see.
No, it's a Avatar, basically. Like it's a monk class that there's a elemental monk class that exists that's kind of poo poo pee pee. I don't really love it. So I made a better version of that, basically. That's like a lot more Avatar-esque.
Nice.
And it's pretty cool. And I've worked real hard on it back then, and I haven't really touched it until...
Have you seen the new Avatar?
Which one?
The
The blue people. No, I'm talking about Last Airbender.
Oh.
Avatar Last Airbender class, not Avatar Blue People.
Got it. That's sick.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect for adding devil fruits, because you're like talking about like elemental stuff and like, oh, we can definitely talk about. I got some fucking devil fruits for you, man.
We'll talk about this later.
I'm actually so excited, bro.
It's super exciting, kind of to get really hype about D&D again. And I don't really know what causes me to fall in and out as much, but it's like...
I mean, it's like that with anything.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of, depending, but... And I think it also depends on like the people that are in the game, how excited they are, the energy that I can feel.
That, and I feel like you kind of get like whiffs of creative boost, depending on what you're like kind of like in like zone wise.
Yeah.
Like obviously like the stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm on a big creative kick. And so I think part of also D&D stuff is like I have to be working on it for me to get like really more excited before a session hits. Because that's usually what my problem is like I'll be really hyped when it's a session day, and like we're going to play. But between it's like not as prevalent, but I think that I'm kind of really hitting the like, oh, I'm really excited to play all the time again. Like I'm wanting to work on stuff for this thing a bunch. Like that stuff's really hitting again. So it's super exciting to do some more world building, some more prep, and I want to get your guys' characters drawn by some people.
That'd be sick.
That'd be really cool. And then have your guys' fancy outfits that we picked also drawn and stuff. That's going to be so exciting, that party.
I'm actually really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be lit. Anyways, D&D talk, nerd shit.
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. What a blast. What a wild ride.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, if you're going through it, bro, this time of year, give somebody a hug. Tell them you love them.
Papa Geese. Mwah.
Hey, Baba Geese. Find somebody to be vulnerable with. If not, don't ruin nobody else's time. But try and fix your own shit. You know what I mean? Rely on other people because it's what they're there for. You're not the only human being going through something. Yours isn't smaller than anybody else's, nor is yours larger than anybody else's. Everybody's going through something. And you never know who you could affect. You know what I mean? Just be a good fucking human being.
Yeah. Brendan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, all that good shit at KillerB420.
You can find me at RQ on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you want more of us, where can they find us?
At Coming Up for Air on Instagram, Up for Aircast on Twitter, and
Coming Up for Air podcast on TikTok.
Coming Up for Air podcast.
Jesus. But yeah, if you enjoy the podcast, make sure to like, subscribe, do all that stuff, follow. If you're on Spotify, check out that video format. Tell us what you think of that shit.
Yeah, bro. Let me know if you want a kiss on the forehead.
Pretty cool. But anyway. Also, real quick before we cap it off, tune in on Christmas Eve for our Christmas special. We're talking about it now.
What the fuck?
Talking about it now.
Oh, that's crazy.
And, Christmas Eve for our Christmas special.
Facts. Yeah, I'm going to be looking all spiffy.
Holiday festivities. But yeah, we'll talk to you guys then. But until next time.
Later, bitch. Be a good human being.
See you next Wednesday.